belief. Effort found sooner than later.
You are what you believe you are. You got us a hell of a football team.
Staring down doubters and the odd hater. Echoes from the past fill the lobby. Once winning trophies like they were a hobby.
The champions of the 67th FedEx Orange Bowl.
As we give thanks to Crimson and Cream, only one thought will remain. A berth in the CFP amidst a hard-fought game. So many great names through the years. The Selman brothers, Gerald McCoy, Tommy Harris have played here at Oklahoma. And during the last 3 weeks, boy, what a November to remember. Defeating top 25 teams, doing it by hanging their hats collectively at the defensive end of the field. LSU ready to play for the first.
Really defined this season.
Holding Missouri to just 6 points in their win last week. Hey, folks, you're watching the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King. On an irradiant Saturday afternoon here in late November. Let's go downstairs to Quinn Kessenich for more. Quinn?
Almost 4 years to the day, Brent Venables was hired as the head coach here at Oklahoma, and he made a promise. He made a promise to the fans. He made a promise to the program. He said, we're going to have an elite defense, a defense defined by physicality, a defense refined by relentlessness, by a punishing attitude, and by a defense that is suffocating. Well, he's delivered on that promise. We're going to track those 4 pillars of this Sooner defense today during this game. Keep your eye on them. They'll show up. This is a group that can get after quarterbacks. They've been forcing turnovers, and they have become the identity of their head coach, a hard-nosed, blue-collar, defensive-minded team.
Spitting an image of their head coach, first in the country in sacks per game as well. Well, Frank Wilson is the interim head coach on a 2-game win streak for LSU. Former head coach at a couple of other schools and taking over, and he has done a wonderful job, as Quint pointed out a little bit earlier, of being able to insulate his players from some of the outside noise and static. Trying to get his offense in gear today against one of the top defenses in the country. Oklahoma won the toss, deferring to the second half. LSU will have the football to start this game. Toe meets leather, and we're underway. Parker and Brown back deep for the Tigers. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. That's where quarterback Michael Van Buren will take the reins of this Tiger offense. He's making his 3rd consecutive start. Last week was 25 of 42 in that 13-10 victory against Western Kentucky. Took over for the injured Garrett Nussmeier several weeks ago. There's a look at the numbers the last 2 games for Van Buren. 6 foot, 190, very good mobility. And a guy very familiar with Oklahoma, and Oklahoma with him, because when he went into the transfer portal, the Sooners were one of his pursuers. On 1st and 10, they're going to run it to Harlem Berry, who picks up about 3 yards, which is right around their average. Let's take a look at our impact players built by the Home Depot.
Well, for LSU offensively, it's the tight end, Trey'Dez Green, who at 6'7" is a matchup nightmare, particularly when you get inside that 30, 25-yard line and approach the end zone. And defensively for Oklahoma, Taylor Wine, who has been one of the biggest improvers over the course of the season for this Oklahoma defense. 14 tackles for loss, 6 sacks on the season for the big defensive end.
On 2nd and 7, They hand it off again to Berry, nowhere to go. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, got back to the line of scrimmage. Grayson Halton finally made the tackle. It sets up a 3rd down and about 7 to go for LSU. Hasn't passed the ball well this year at all either.
Grayson Halton was phenomenal a week ago. And you look at how good this Oklahoma defense is at stopping teams at the line of scrimmage or behind. That's how they get you into these 3rd and long situations. And in these situations, the offense has to dissect, has to decipher who around the line of scrimmage is blitzing and who's not.
Gets it out quick, complete to the edge. That's Brown. And Brown is brought down right near the line of scrimmage by Peyton Brown defensively, and it'll be 4th down. A quick 3 and out for that Sooner defense.
You can see LSU with the conservative play call on 3rd down. Not only is that because of the aggressive nature and how proficient Oklahoma is at rushing the passer, it's also very windy out on the field, and LSU was going into the wind, now punting into the wind. I mean, these winds are going to play a big part both in the passing game and the kicking game today.
Yeah, there's a look at the flags. Chadwick punting into that stiff breeze. A low line drive knocked down by the wind. Satania back there tried to field it. Appeared as if the ball came loose. It might have hit somebody in the process. Isaiah Satania, the punt returner for OU, and it's recovered by the Sooners. Jaden Hardy.
Yeah,
one more look here.
It looks like it hits Jacoby Johnson, number 19 for Oklahoma. It's very, very wise by Isaiah Satania trying to jump on it. Oklahoma fortunate, but you can see how that punt, not only was it off the side of the foot of the punter, but once it got up in the air, it absolutely died because it was going into that strong wind.
1st and 10 for John Mateer. A year ago, he led the nation in touchdown passes with 44 at Washington State. Going to hand it off on 1st down to Xavier Robinson. Nowhere to go for Robinson. He might even lose a yard or 2. Q, what's the weather like down there? I think I see Dorothy and Toto blowing by in the wind.
Yeah, you sang the song from Oklahoma. The temperature's in the low 50s, but the key storyline, the wind is whipping about 20 miles an hour left to right across this field. It comes into the stadium on the left side, drops down low, and then swoops around in that right end zone. And it's going to be a main storyline in terms of special teams, Mark, and then the throwing game. Mateer's with the wind on this drive.
We'll keep an eye on that. They go empty formation. He completes his first pass to Burks. Deion Burks making the catch, picking up about 6 on the play. Dak Pyburn making the tackle.
LSU had a little bit of a stunt up front. It's a good pickup by an Oklahoma offensive line that's missing its starting center, Jake Michaela.
Weewu moves over to the starting center spot, and Mateer had it picked off. It's deflected, tipped off, and it's coming back the other way. Perkins all the way inside the 10 to the 5. Harold Perkins, one of their best players defensively, with another huge play. That's his 3rd interception of the season. That was definitely deflected.
It certainly was, and it's deflected by Patrick Payton, who starts up the field and then goes inside and is able to get a hand up in the air and bat that thing to Harold Perkins, the outside linebacker nickel, who ends up picking it off and taking it inside the 10-yard line. We knew this was going to be a defensive ball game. We knew that the defenses were going to have to make plays. It's how Oklahoma has made its living over the last month, but LSU with the first massive play defensively in this game.
1st and goal. From just inside the 5-yard line. Roddy, you talked about Trey'Dez Green, that tall target at 6'7", number 14. Van Buren in the end zone, and it's picked off. They took it right back. Peyton Bowen. Back-to-back INTs, and the Sooners dodge one with LSU threatening.
So Peyton Bowen's going to be right there with his eyes just on the quarterback. And as Michael Van Buren rolls out, he just mirrors the quarterback, sinks into the end zone, and makes one of the best catches that you will see today.
You're watching the SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King. Here in the fifth meeting all time between LSU and Oklahoma. Oklahoma vying for a spot in the college football playoff. That would happen most likely 99% according to our analytics with a win here today. It would also be their 10th win of the season against just 2 defeats. Deadlocked at 3 in a low-scoring contest that we pretty much expected when you look at the intransigence of the respective defenses. There's a look at Satania. Back for this kick. With the loss, Oklahoma still with a pretty good shot of making it to the college football playoff.
I would argue that that is way too high a percentage of Oklahoma to make.
What number would you say? 30?
Close to 0.
0?
I mean, Texas is a 9-3 team. Oklahoma would be 9-3 with a head-to-head loss against Texas. And so I think it would keep them out.
Fair catch called. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sooners. Hey, when you look at Oklahoma, not a lot of offense in that first half. How do you get Mateer in any kind of rhythm where they can have a sustained drive at this point to start the quarter?
I think for Oklahoma, it's going to be a commitment to the run that gets this offense going. If you look at what LSU has been susceptible to this year, teams have been able at times to run the football on them. And so I think the run game is going to be big for him. And maybe that is with John Mateer as well. I mean, he's such a capable runner that if you use his legs rather than the inconsistency that you've seen through the air, maybe that gets you better dividends.
Important to note that they have the wind at their back to start this third quarter. Satania in motion. They keep it on the ground. Nice cutback by Blaylock, who bursts into the open field after the 38. Let's go down to Quint.
Hard to kill. That's what Oklahoma has been this season. I joked with Coach Venables at halftime. I said, Coach, you're in familiar territory. He goes, yeah, this is one of those games, one of those gritty games. And they've done the simple things well this season, and they have won ugly. Let's see if they can do it again in the most important game of their season.
Q, the hair looking a little disheveled with the wind down there, partner. Oklahoma keeps it on the ground.
Yeah, that comes with the quaff, I guess.
Hey, the picture doesn't match up with the current day quaff. Q. We'll work on that. Get to PR. As Oklahoma moves the chains out to the 38-yard line. Blaylock in the backfield. 3 receivers out to the bottom of your screen. Mateer delivers in traffic, incomplete. At the 46-yard line, Mansour Delane there to break it up. He's slow to get up.
Mansour Delane ends up on the ground, but Harold Perkins looks like he gets there very early. I'm not sure the receiver would have had a chance to catch it anyway. I mean, Deion Burks was going down to the ground, but Delane clearly gets there early. Be curious to get Matt Austin's thoughts. Let's go to our rules analyst, Matt Austin. Matt, why do you think the flag stayed in the pockets of the referees on that one?
I would have to assume it was a poor angle, but Roddy, that is definitely pass interference.
Yeah, I certainly agree.
Thus the chorus of boos cascading down from the stands. One more look, yeah. He got there early, Harold Perkins.
It would have been a miraculous catch by Deion Burks, but it wasn't uncatchable. On 5 locked 2-ring steel cage match. I like the home team.
Always Satania part of the home team. Hangs on to it after taking a hit. And points towards the end zone. It's a first down at the 37.
It's a nice delivery by John Mateer, maybe his best throw of the day, and the catch by Isaiah Satania, phenomenal before the safety gets there.
Up at the line of scrimmage quickly. Mateer picked off, coming back the other way. Halsey, and he's got a group of blockers in front of him. Knocked out of bounds. That's the 2nd interception of the day thrown by Mateer, who ultimately made the tackle. But the Tigers defense once again proves to be impregnable.
A.J. Halsey ends up right here, and John Mateer locks on the route by the tight end, Jaren Koenig. And all Halsey does is read the eyes. When it gets to Jaren Koenig, he breaks on the football. And after a second after making a tremendous throw on a 3rd and long, LSU comes up with its 2nd interception of the game, 16th on the season, leading the SEC, and sets up this offense in good field position once again.
It's a type of game, Roddy, you said it a little bit earlier, it might take just one play to win it. On the ground, down to the 24-yard line, Harlem Berry. Nice gain. Picks up about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
And Mark, you asked at halftime, what does Oklahoma need to do to get the offense going? I mentioned commitment to the run game. They ran it really well in the first play and then didn't go back to it consistently. They converted the 3rd and long, but then you throw the interception. I think it's the same thing for this LSU team. Stay committed to the run game and use Michael Van Buren's legs as well.
Harlem in the backfield. Behind Van Buren, takes the handoff, and he's close to another Tiger 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and short. About a yard to go. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. LSU looking for its 8th win of the season. Brent Venables has talked about the pillars of his defense. What he wants it to look like, game in, game out. Physical, punishing, relentless, and suffocating. They need all 4 now. Van Buren keeps it. Outrunning the defense, Van Buren lunging. Did he get in? They're going to spot it at the 2-yard line. Michael Van Buren with a burst. Sets up a 1st down and goal. He ran for 23.
Well, it's a really nice call, the pull by Michael Van Buren, and then up the sideline from our pylon cam, dives forward. You can see that foot hits out of bounds before he's able to get there. But really nice call by Alex Atkins on 3rd down.
They spotted at the 1. That was their first 3rd down conversion of the game. Out of the backfield, touchdown Tigers, Thomas. And LSU able to capitalize on the Mateer interception.
Xavier Thomas is going to come in motion from this way and then comes back, fakes like he's going back this way, and it freezes the defender that's covering him in man-to-man. He just gets a step. Michael Van Buren, easy pitch and catch. And LSU. The SEC looked like it was primed to have 5 teams in the college football playoff, with Oklahoma now on the road.
Mateer delivers a strike out to the 43-yard line. Catch by Caden Helms. And that's a 1st down. Going to be interesting to watch, Roddy, if Mateer can get his rhythm back after throwing that pick a moment ago. Picked up 16 there.
Well, he is resilient. He's played a lot of ball over the course of his career. And I would expect exactly what we just saw, him to be locked in. Thing is, can they find any run game?
Here's Satania on the ground, nowhere to go. Pardon me, that was Torrey Blaylock brought down for no gain on the play. You talk about Mateer and his leadership. It was established early once arriving on campus, coming from Washington State. In the spring, there was a voluntary workout session, and very few people showed up. So he basically turned the group text chat green. He sent out a text, a scathing one, to his teammates saying, guys, if we want to have a different result from the previous year, we've got to show up and work hard. He did and they did. The ball came loose on the hit by Keys. Wow, John Mateer recovered it. Back up at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down. Play clock at 20.
LSU with a late substitution. Oklahoma's going to catch him at 12 on the field.
We've seen that a couple times. Mateer complete on the slant. Gibson. And he's finally stopped up at about the 31-yard line. Another first down and a late flag thrown.
The flag is
illegal substitution in defense. More than 11 players on the field at the time of the snap. That penalty's declined.
Seen that a couple times, right?
We have, and mechanically, Oklahoma substituted, so the referees will hold the ball and allow LSU to match the substitution, but it takes so long for LSU to start the substitution process that the center judge is released and Oklahoma is able to have a free play because LSU took its time sending another player on the field.
Satania in motion. Handoff to Robinson. Nowhere to go for Robinson. So hold on. You got to actually sprint onto the field?
Yeah, it's a novel concept, but the referee is holding the snap right now, and then after a couple of seconds, LSU starts, and then the coaches are saying, "Hey, get off the field!" to Jamari Butler. He tries to sprint, but doesn't quite make it.
Second down and 8 for the Sooners from the 28. Satania in motion to the bottom of your screen now. 6. They pick up the pressure. Mateer fires high, incomplete for Satania. And it's incomplete, setting up a 3rd down and 8.
That was a hard hit delivered by Tamarcus Cooley. Legal hits the receiver right in the chest, but an errant throw by John Mateer. Oklahoma, Mark, is still looking for its first trip to the red zone today.
Wow.
And here they have a 3rd and long situation. They've been able to convert a couple of times in the second half on 3rd and longs, but LSU has gone to zone coverage where John Mateer's been able to find the open receiver.
Sooners with trips to the bottom of your screen. Mateer looks the other way, one-on-one, and is picked off at the 7-yard line. The Tigers with their 3rd interception. This time, it's DJ Pickett. He had a pick last week and back-to-back weeks now. DJ Pickett.
Mark, I am surprised LSU has not gone to this more often. Challenge these receivers in man-to-man. It is a well underthrown ball. John Mateer's got to get that up into the outside. Doesn't give his receiver a chance. And you get Giovanni Gibson trying to go around and through the 6'5", nearly 200-pound DJ Pickett, who just cradles the ball into his chest. Another turnover for Oklahoma, and these fans are starting to get concerned.
With good reason. With a potential berth in the college football. I wonder who's going to coach Ole Miss.
That's a great question. Let's go to Marty Smith. Don't know.
Van Buren throws it out of bounds. Good discernment that time by Michael Van Buren. And it's 4th down. So Oklahoma will get the football back once more with the Winds at its collective back. With 2:45 to go here. Satania back at his own 37-yard line. Venables, he's all gas, no brakes.
Yes, he is.
There's no in between.
He's got to be frustrated today. His defense has given up 107 yards of offense, and yet they find themselves down by 7, in large part because of the turnovers.
7th punt for Chadwick. Wow, that's a great punt into the wind. Satania on the return, looking for an alley. Isaiah Satania all the way into LSU territory at the 45-yard line. Finally tackled by Grant Chadwick, the punter. A 57-yard punt, 35 on the return. As we take a look at our high-speed highlights brought to you by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
There was a Patrick Payton tip that ended up in a Harold Perkins interception early in the game. LSU threw an interception right after that. A.J. Halsey was able to track down one as well. And then on the last possession, it was DJ Pickett that ends up picking off an underthrow by John Mateer. 3 interceptions on the game for John Mateer, tying his season high through 3 against Texas as well.
With Torrey Blaylock behind him in the backfield. Mateer hands it off and nowhere to go. Whit Weeks making the tackle on the play. He's been nicked up Last couple of weeks, we saw him in pregame going through some special PT and stretching, and even at halftime with one of the athletic trainers.
LSU has often been at its best this season defensively when there are a couple of Weeks on the field. Weeks playing next to his brother West Weeks. Last week, Zach Weeks got in the game as well with the Weeks brother. We had 3 weeks on the field.
Is last week related?
Last week is not related.
Okay.
Who's on first?
Little receiver screen, tunnel screen. Burks on the move. Burks with a burst. Touchdown Sooners. There it is. Deion Burks on the tunnel screen, busts loose and registers his 3rd touchdown catch of the season, the 13th of his career, and Oklahoma knocks the game at 10 apiece with 1:47 to go. So if you were wondering about the resolve and the resilience of John Mateer, there's a window to what he's got left, Roddy.
Certainly is. There's no safety in the middle of the field, and you're going to get a couple of offensive linemen pulling with a blitz off the edge, and it creates a ton of space for Deion Burks. The offensive linemen get down the field. You've got offensive linemen downfield. Michael Fasusi looking for someone to block, and then it's Deion Burks with the speed to the end zone. It's a nice call set up by the long punt return. Once again, this Oklahoma special teams comes up big after the long punt by LSU. And just by hanging in there, keeping that defense hanging in there, keeping them close, you hit one play offensively and you're back in this
thing. You made a great point a moment ago in Coach Venables trusting his defense. Van Buren out of the shotgun. They go empty formation. Go to the single side. Green makes the catch down at the 36-yard line. They went to their big imposing target.
He's listed as a tight end, but Trey'Dez Green, it's just like a big receiver when he's out wide. 6'7", up against defender for Oklahoma. Really nice job up against Davon Jordan, who just there's no contest against a 6'7" receiver.
Keep it on the ground. This is Juwan Johnson, broke a tackle. Mouthpiece came flying out, an indicator of how hard they're hitting down there. I thought I heard somebody say too little down there.
I mean, it might as well have been. I mean, this is a guy who played on the LSU basketball team last year as well. Just a tremendous athlete who's one of the biggest mismatches that you can find around. He is a special talent out wide. You can see even when he's up against a safety, which he wasn't on that play, Davon Jordan,
who's 5'11",
exactly. Just no match for with a well-thrown ball.
Brown in motion. Van Buren down to the 20, caught by Thomas. And this Tiger offense finding a little bit of rhythm, a gain of 11.
Couple of plays, creative formation by Alex Atkins on the Trey'Dez Green play, and then you get Michael Van Buren on the roll. It creates some space in the defense and an accurate throw. And then after a few plays, got this Oklahoma defense kind of on its heels a little bit.
Trey'Dez Green back in the ball game. Going to be Berry, and nowhere to go. Stopped up right near the line of scrimmage. Harlem Berry is. Heineke making the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and about 9 to go.
I think you try and find another matchup for Trey'Dez Green. On the drive prior to this one, they got him on a crossing route, a ball that he just dropped. That was going to be a big play. You get the one-on-one on the outside, that it did end up in the big play. The run game has been somewhat inconsistent, so if you don't go back to that, And I think you find the tight end, Trades Green, or at least try to.
He's on the right side of the formation. And they're going to blow this play dead.
Prior to the snap, LSU called their second timeout of the half.
So LSU with one timeout remaining.
Seconds in league.
Frank Wilson looking for his third win as the interim head coach. Well, LSU looking to eat right now on the fringes of the red zone. 2nd and 9. On the reverse, ball's loose and recovered as they tried a little trickery on the reverse. Grayson Halton knocked it loose. Made a big play for the Sooners.
Grayson Halton has been phenomenal the past couple of weeks, really all season for this Oklahoma defense. He almost picks this ball off. And had he not, there was room out wide for a relatively big play, and it knocks LSU back a long way.
Wow.
Even with the wind, this would be 57-ish yard field goal.
They lost 17 on that play, Roddy. Now from right around the 40. 3rd and 27. Green in motion now sets. And Buren hits Green. There's a flag down. Green down at the 31. 8-yard pickup, but will it stand?
Prior to the snap, delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Boy, that's 2 major miscues against the Tigers that push them even further back now at the 45.
And LSU, having spent 2 of its timeouts earlier in the half, with only 1 left, wisely decides not to take it. And the long for the season this year for Damian Ramos is the 52-yarder he hit in the first game against Clemson. He is kicking with the wind. And in pregame, they were hammering those things. Both Damian Wilson and Tate Sandell were hammering them from 60-plus. But still a low percentage kick from this far out.
It would be a 62-yarder from here. On 3rd and long, Van Buren on the run at the last minute fires. They're going to rule it complete and spotted at about the 25-26 to Xavier Thomas. So a little bit more manageable potential field goal here. Look at this nice effort.
Xavier Thomas just keeps working across the field. And when Michael Van Buren sees him, delivers it right on the 0, right in the middle of his body. And it sets up Damian Ramos with a much more manageable field goal.
This one coming from about 43 yards out. Made one earlier from 25. Light work for Damian Ramos, giving LSU a 3-point lead with just under 8 minutes to go, trying to spoil the hopes of the Sooners and their potential spot in the college football playoff. That's what's on the line. LSU, a St. Augustine graduate in New Orleans, so being at LSU means the world to him. A school that also sent Tyrann Mathieu and Leonard Fournette to LSU from St. Aug. His team leading by a field goal with 5:04 to go.
And this is why Brent Venables in the offseason went and got John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle. It's for situations like this. 5 minutes left in the game, down by 3, with a college football playoff berth on the line. You need this Oklahoma offense to come up big for you.
Mateer surveys, pulls complete, works the middle of the field to the tight end Kanak. About a yard shy of the first down. 9-yard pickup. Keys making the tackle, 2nd and short. Mateer finds his tight end Kanak again. And a little bit of yards after catch all the way out to the 43. 1st and 10. Sooners with its full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. A pickup of 17.
They caught LSU off guard a little bit with the tempo. I like the fact that they're going really up tempo now.
Mateer downfield wide open. It's room service. Satania. College football playoff hopes alive. Somebody hit the snooze button in the secondary or on defense for the Tigers as Satania, unmarked, unsupervised in the secondary. 58 yards for the touchdown, Roddy.
Well, Isaiah Satania is going to line up here in the slot, and the safety, Tamarcus Cooley, rolls this way, and neither of these two defenders take Isaiah Satania up the field as he goes scot-free. There is no one within 20 yards of him by the time he catches this football. And I think the tempo of Oklahoma on that drive really bothered LSU defensively. The first play, it looked like they were caught on their heels a little bit on the out route to Jaron Kanik, and they were able to get a big gain, and then they go tempo again. Miscommunication on the defense in that secondary that's been so good today, and Isaiah Satania puts this Oklahoma offense on the board, and this Oklahoma team right now, if it stands, in the college football playoff.
Just like a week ago, it was Satania that made the big play. That long catch and run against Mizzou. And the Sooners defense now tasked with holding on for the last 4:16. Satania, meanwhile, today 8 receptions for a total of 116 yards and a touchdown. Well, the Sooners officially off of life support. On the return, it's Berry and Brown. Brown got to the corner. Goes north-south, still in bounds, all the way up near midfield. So a prolific return by Berry and Brown. And the Tigers, Roddy, will start with great field position here with 4:09 to go.
Yeah, and a couple of defenders for Oklahoma end up hitting each other as Berry and Brown just tries to get outside. And look on the edge. You got a couple of guys taking themselves out. Tate Sandell actually does a pretty good job of slowing Berry and Brown down so that the tackle can be made. But LSU in good field position, down by 4, 4:09 left on the clock.
A 47-yard kickoff return. Michael Van Buren making his 3rd consecutive start. Out of the shotgun. Durham in the backfield. Receiver screen complete. Down to the 44 is Chris Hilton Jr. Can be gain of about 4, close to 5 on the play. Under 4 minutes to go. The Tigers with a singular timeout remaining. 2nd and 6.
And with the tempo that LSU has gone with all game long, and with only 1 timeout, you can't count on another possession. This is the possession that you have to find the ball in the end zone. You've got to find a way to score a touchdown.
Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Batted down. Marvin Jones Jr., the transfer from Florida State, got a hand up there and tipped it away. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Frank Wilson's crew.
And if you're Frank Wilson, you're telling your offensive coordinator, Alex Atkins, you got 2 downs here to get these 6 yards. You don't have to get it all in one play. You can cut it in half. You find yourself in a pretty decent position for 4th down.
Van Buren got it off, complete. 1st down all the way to the 36. Parker moves the chains with 3:16 to go. Big time play by Kyle Parker. Picks up 10.
Yeah, it was a nice job of picking up the blitz by that LSU offensive line and the running back, Caden Durham. And Kyle Parker just sits in the soft spot in the zone. Good recognition by Michael Van Buren.
They set up the screen at the 40. Jawan Johnson is brought down inside the 35 at about the 33-yard line. Picked up 4 on the play. Clock running with 2:34 to go. 2nd down and 6.
The screen game has been something LSU has gone to a lot, both on the perimeter and with the running back screens. This defense has done a good job diagnosing it and hasn't gotten caught in a blitz situation where LSU's been able to hit a big play. That has to continue because LSU obviously has had challenges running the football.
Thomas split wide to the top of your screen. Hilton Jr. in motion. Van Buren rolls left. Completes the pass at the 33 to Durham. Fell down immediately. Picked up a yard on the play. And we have hit the 2-minute timeout. Coach Venables' team trying to hang on with LSU. And here in Norman, Oklahoma, the name Lane loomed large over the LSU program. But the players on the field in the present moment trying to right now complete a stirring comeback. Down by 4 with under 2 minutes to go. And for their opponents, Oklahoma, a berth in the college football playoff on the line. 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Van Buren keeps it and is going to end up about 2 yards short of the first down at the 29. So a manageable 4th and short coming up.
I like the call, though, from Alex Atkins. And now what do you go to on 4th down? Because it's 4th and 2, everything's kind of on the table. I'd like to see them get Michael Van Buren on the perimeter with his legs and give him the option to either throw it to somebody leaking out or run it. Keeping him in the pocket, I don't think that's the way to go unless you've got a really good matchup.
Against the top rush defense in the country. Thomas in motion, and we're going to have a timeout called by LSU.
And if you were going to take that timeout, you'd like to have saved a lot of time by taking it early.
I'll tell you what, his face tells you everything that he's feeling on every play. The demonstrative Brett Venables. 4th and 2 coming up with 1:20 to go. If you're LSU, you talked about the options, getting Van Buren on the edge. How do you want to do that against the defense that gives up the fewest yards per carry in the country?
Well, I think a simple rollout gets you in a position where you're away from that rush, unless you've got a matchup on the outside that you like. And that would be one of your receivers against the corner that's off the line of scrimmage, giving you a free access throw. I would expect Oklahoma to take those away, whether you're pressed up or you roll to a coverage that takes away the easy throws. But does LSU dare to try and big man this Oklahoma defense? The defensive tackles have been excellent. David Stone, Grayson Halton in the middle. Those two guys have been phenomenal all day long.
Backs line up out of the eye. Play fake. Incomplete. The Sooners will take over on downs.
Well, Peyton Bowen's here on the perimeter. He is going to make the play, but you can see the tight end leaks out, Bauer Sharp, and he's going to be open. If Michael Van Buren is just able to get the ball there, releases late, he's open with the potential to get to the first down. He might get contacted by one of the Oklahoma defensive backs before he gets there. It's going to be challenged, but Frank Wilson's group falls 2 yards short of extending the game, and Oklahoma all but stamps their appearance in Brent Venables' first college football playoff as the head coach here in Norman.
First time for the school in the playoffs since 2019, 6 years since Jalen Hurts was at quarterback. And they did it in typical OU fashion. Low-scoring defensive battle. The defense doing a lot of the heavy lifting, limiting LSU to just 13 points. Able to survive 3 interceptions from John Mateer.
The Oklahoma defense came up big after one of the interceptions where LSU's inside the 5-yard line. They came up with an interception themselves. And despite the rocky day from John Mateer, when they needed him for a drive, he ended up finding Isaiah Satania getting the ball in the end zone.
They've got a 99% chance to make it to the college football playoff. 17-13 victors today against LSU for their second win in 5 tries against LSU. Let's go downstairs to Quint with Coach.
Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations. What emotions are you dealing with right now?
Hard to kill. And what a heck of a game. And nobody deserved to lose that. And LSU, man, they've really fought, man, big time. But, man, am I proud of our guys. We overcame a lot of mistakes, penalties, turnovers, just a lot of miscues today. But, hey, we're a pretty good football team and can overcome all of that.
How would you characterize the defense?
Yeah, I mean, just tenacious, you know, tenacious, absolutely tenacious. Stop after stop after stop. And they played conservative, but that don't matter. It's not about that. You know, it's about how our guys, our mindset, our attitude, our physicality, our relentless effort. It was fantastic, man. I got a lot of respect and admiration for our guys.
Coach, congratulations. You got your voice is all hoarse. Little chicken soup, perhaps, tonight for your coach. Congratulations.
Something like that. Chicken soup or something. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Defensive battle. Sooners win it. And as they say here in Oklahoma, Sooner born, Sooner bred, and when they die, they're Sooner dead. But they're very much alive and probably going to the playoff and probably host a game as well. College football scoreboard coming up next on ABC, followed by Alabama-Auburn. For Roddy Jones, Quint Kesnick, and our entire crew behind the camera you don't get a chance to see, I'm Mark Jones. Sooners win it as we check back with the studio. So long from Norman.